huge.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Those ones.
Y'all kept me busy today.
I'm not the only one.
No, you are not.
Yeah, that makes it a
Oh, it's 6:06. Oh, it's time to start. What are we doing? Got it, Ron? We are opening, and welcome to our Town of Trophy Club workshop tonight. It's May the 27th, 6 o'clock. We have all of our members here. Stacy may be ill, so we wish her recovery. And this work session is all yours, April.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I'll be presenting an overview of the Town of Trophy Club's Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone, TIRZ number 1, including how it has supported local development to date and the opportunities it presents with the small area plan. Let's start with a quick overview. What is a TIRZ? A TIRZ, or Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone, is a financing tool used to encourage new investment and redevelopment in specific areas. When a TIRZ is created, the increase in property values within the zone over time, referred to as the tax increment, is captured. That increment is then reinvested back into the zone to fund improvements like infrastructure, utilities, and other eligible public projects. The mechanism allows the town to stimulate growth in areas that may not otherwise attract timely private development. When we create a TIRZ, we record the property values in the base year. As the area develops and property values increase, we calculate the difference, called the captured appraised value. The taxes collected from that increased value or the tax increment go into a fund that can only be used for approved projects in the TIRZ plan. When the TIRZ expires, all property tax revenue reverts back to the standard taxing jurisdictions. Here's a quick timeline of how Trophy Club TIRZ number 1 came to be. In 2007, the town adopted a resolution establishing tax abatement guidelines. In 2013, Ordinance 2013-23 formally created Reinvestment Zone number 1. The following year, we adopted the project and financing plan. In 2016, amendments were made to the budget and incentive agreements through Ordinance 2016-24. Trophy Club TIRZ number 1 became effective on August 19, 2013. It is scheduled to expire on the earlier of December 31st, 2034, or when all project costs and obligations, including tax increment bonds and interest, have been paid in full. The zone, as outlined here, includes the area around Trophy Wood Drive and State Highway 114. Originally, the TIRZ board was composed of 5 independent members. In August 2024, the council discussed aligning the board with town council membership, though no action was taken at that time. TIRZ revenues can be used for public infrastructure projects, incentive agreements with developers, and administrative costs related to managing the zone. 2 major agreements were made within the TIRZ. The Breadwinners Tract, or more recently known as the location of Hutchins Barbecue, received 22.5% of total incremental revenue up to a cap of $592,667.89 plus third-party interest. The HG Supply Tract received 12.5% with a cap of $407,332.11 plus interest. Together, these 2 agreements represented a combined total increment of 35% of TIRZ revenue. Both agreements were structured as a 20-year commitment with annual reimbursements processed each December. The final obligations were met in December 2024, with total disbursements slightly exceeding $1 million. As of December 31st, 2024, The TERS fund had an approximate remaining fund balance of $70,000. A large portion of the small area plan overlaps with TERS number 1. This overlap presents an opportunity, just as the TERS was successfully used to support previous developments, such as HG Supply and Hutchins Barbecue. It could once again serve as a tool to incentivize and support future projects within the zone through structured reimbursement agreements. The TERS boundary can be expanded if approved by the TERS board and town council to include more of the small area plan or other areas the council designates. Future use of TERS funds will also require approval by both the board and council. In addition to TERS revenue, we also have access to Economic Development Corporation tax revenue to support development efforts within the small area plan. As of September 30th, 2024, the EDC fund balance was approximately $2.5 million. That concludes the overview. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have regarding the TERS or the relationship to our small area plan and economic development goals.
I have a question.
Okay, go for it, yeah.
Brandon, I know you're watching what they're doing down in Austin as far as our ability to do bonds. How could this interact to mitigate some of the restrictions that could potentially come down the pike?
I don't see this tool necessarily helping with mitigating, if they were to make, and it's not moving forward, it's stuck right now in committee, the one that we were most worried about, House Bill 19. And what that did was kind of restrict the council's ability to be able to issue certificates of obligation for capital projects, whether they be, roads or sidewalks or parks or things like that. For it, luckily that's stuck in committee right now, so that's not going to move forward. But this tool really, if that were to be in place, we'd still have the restriction of being able to do public infrastructure with some sort of a debt instrument for it. We'd have to go more into pay-as-you-go financing. This could be structured to do pay-as-you-go financing, which would be kind of a set aside for future roads, future sidewalks, and things like that. So in that way, it could be able to help out with a project not having to incur debt, but be able to upfront the money that you need before you would take on a project.
And that's what I'm looking for,
Yeah.
is how it could augment that or alleviate some of the problems.
Some of
it
the
could
problems
pose.
with it, yeah. I see that being one potential benefit from it, is if you had enough pre-notice of a project, you could begin to collect that funding beforehand and pay for it before you had to go and issue debt for it.
Okay, Steve?
So the current captured tax value, if that's what we're calling it, is $70,000, correct? That's what's in the fund right now?
That's the unspent fund balance, yes, sir.
And so that can only grow if that incremental tax amount off the base grows. If I didn't say that very well, right?
Correct.
But what is the likelihood that that will grow significantly or marginally, or will it pretty much stay the same? I know we don't know all the things, but
Depends on development.
Yeah, since there hasn't been any new development, usually your biggest benefit from a TERS is going to be when you begin a new project, right? And so since there are no new projects going on right at this moment, the only growth from the area would be the natural tax assessment growth that happens from it. And so that would be, I'd say, incremental to the overall amount. So it will stay in its near form until such time as the council takes action to do something with that TERS.
And if you end up with a development opportunity where a developer is interested in an incentive,
You got it.
one of the things they're likely to do is ask for some portion of that increment that they will help to create as a part of the incentive. That's what this prior one really was. That's basically what the terms were. So it's kind of like, it's going to act like normal property tax unless a development happens. And that's one of the incentive levers by having it, right? Is if you can project the increment is going to be X. The question is, I guess, so for us, our question is just do we want to change what we're doing, or we continue it, or obviously you mentioned the board membership or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, so it's really about supporting development and particularly right now, future development, specifically in this small site plan that we're working at. And even if we're not developing anything, we're collecting a little money here and there, and we're building up a nest egg. Even though it's small, developers want to know that you're going to participate with them, correct? Even if it's little bit.
Correct, and if you take a look at the small area plan that you've been considering, obviously we haven't done a final adoption of that plan yet, but there are, several public sector versions of improvements that would need to happen with that, right? Some of them, creation of new streets, creation of, sidewalks along the way, walkable areas, things like that. So there are public infrastructure costs that we would anticipate, parking ramps if we go down that road for it, that we would anticipate, a funding source to help to pay for those things will be something we'll need to consider for the future.
And that would contribute to that.
And that's
It
actually,
contributes to the infrastructure. My understanding is the TERS takes care of infrastructure.
It can.
Is that correct? I mean, it's basically to help.
it can, and that's why when y'all drew the lines, you drew
Yeah.
it all the way up to Trophywood and Indian Creek,
Right.
because it goes all the
Right.
way to the intersection there, yeah.
So it helps all that. Okay. Dennis, I know you want to say
I
something.
know I want to say, I'm against it.
I know.
First of all, the small area plan.
Against, Dennis, so I understand, against what?
All right, I'll tell you right now. All right. The small area plan, if I understand it, is not going to come out as a definite plan, it's going to come out as a policy. And whether or not the council approves or disapproves or whatever the possibility of changes of the streets or the parking ramps and things like that, the EDC has well over $2 million, and by the time they get around to spending anything, they're going to have significantly more. The TERS is supposed to stimulate growth, not change the infrastructure, just for the sake of change to go with a small area plan. If we do away with the TERS, we still have over a couple $1 million worth in EDC, which has a broader spectrum of what the money could be used for. And the $70,000 would go into the general fund. We're not losing the money. We're just putting it into a different budget. So if the TERS is continued, I would recommend that the council put the council as the board members. That's one. Two, to expand the boundaries, after looking at it, the only thing you're going to take in is the Baylor and the vineyards in the Wood Springs Inn, which has nothing really changing in the small area plan. So it's immaterial whether or not you expand it or not. The other is I am against the small area plan as I know it now, okay? It has apartments in it, and I can't approve apartments, nor do I want to change any of the roads. The change of the roads, if I look at the small area plan, is to create an intersection of T.W. King and Plaza Drive. There is already an intersection there, and Plaza Drive, which is privately owned, is not on the town budget for maintenance.
Okay, I'm going to call point of order. We're talking about site plan right now.
No, I'm talking
Oh, we're
about
talking
the
about
TERS.
TERS,
I'm
but
talking
not
about the
the site
TERS, and
plan.
the TERS, and the reason I say that is because the TERS is presented to us tonight, talks about the small area plan. Thank you.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Other comments?
I just had a real simple one. So over here, we got the new residential houses being built, right?
Yes.
So are we going to update the map to kind of carve those out of there?
No, they're in there.
They're
Aren't
in there
they?
right now,
Aren't
right?
they in the site plan? They should,
Yeah, they're in there.
They're in there right now.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
No.
So
Well, it's something we can
we'd have to amend we'd have to change the boundaries to remove that section if we wanted to.
But we don't have to.
No.
I
But
you
think
don't
is your
have to.
question.
Right.
You don't
Yeah,
have
we
to.
don't have to.
Yeah,
And the TERS fund would capture the increment that will result from that development.
that is correct.
So, and that's one thing that I wanted to ask staff, opinion-wise, is, because when I came into this, it had just been established, and the development deals had just been done, and my understanding, it basically looked like it did right there, except Hampton Inn and Homewood were there, but the rest of it was blank, like it looks. The hotels were there, but nothing else, and Dr. Crumpton's office. So it made sense, it does make sense, I believe, to have the overlay on undeveloped land, because no matter what happens with the property values, the town will capture that increment one way or another. But this is a way of saying for that increment on that particular property, starting at this time, it's going to be in this special designated fund, which makes sense for undeveloped land because it's going to go from vacant to not vacant. So my question is what is the reason or benefit for having a TERS on land that we know is already developed and is a low candidate for wholesale redevelopment? Like, would it make sense to focus, does it matter? I mean, like, or are we just splitting hairs?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, you're probably, you're splitting hairs with the exception of one idea, right? So one of them is, if you don't need it in the, to generate the increment, then I would say it's better left outside of it, to Dennis's point, right? Better off in the general fund than if you don't need it for that purpose. If it's redeveloped property that's likely not to, if it's developed property that's likely not to redevelop, then just leave it as is. You could always add it later on if something big comes along for it. That being said, the only reason that you might want to include some of those properties is that if we've planned for public improvements within that zone, remember that the TERS dollars can help pay for anything within the TERS zone. So if it's not in the map, you can't pay for it. Okay, so let's take, for example, and I'll just talk real quick about the small area plan, right, which has a path behind the Baylor Medical facility, right, that we had anticipated putting in. We would just need to look to another funding source, not the TERS dollars, to be able to put that in if we did not include that facility within the TERS zone. It's doable because it's something like a sidewalk, but if it were more meaningful, like a roadway or something like that, that would need a lot more money to be able to fund it, that might be something that we would want to consider keeping within the TERS zone.
But conversely, the property tax revenue resulting from the increment would flow to the town regardless. This is more just about setting it aside.
Correct, it's a set aside, correct.
So there is no, based on the property tax revenue resulting from the increment, unless it builds up over years and years and years, it doesn't really represent a windfall in so much as that it gives you your one extra thing you can do with that money that you can't do with any of your regular money as easily, which is use it for an incentive. Right. So really, from my perspective, the value of the TERS is the runway towards development incentive as an option. Otherwise, it's basically fungible money we could use like we could use any other way. So I think for that reason, I'm in favor of leaving it as is. And I agree with Dennis about trying to co-seat the board if it makes sense to avoid the paperwork aspect of it. I would say, though, for staff, or obviously whatever you guys think as well, if there are proposed changes to the boundaries, work up a few options, try to run some projections and give us something to make a decision on, but I'm also perfectly happy just letting it ride the way it's currently drawn up.
Other comments?
I think it served its purpose, certainly with those two examples that we talked about. I mean, $70,000 is not very much money at all. Yeah, it could be used for a couple small things, but the amount of time, brain power, manpower we're going to need to continue to keep TERS, is it this board, is it that board? Is it really worth all of the hassle? Or put another way, is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know that it
Well,
is.
how much time do you spend overseeing a TERS?
This is the most I've talked about in 11 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we use a TERS administrator to help to administer, right,
Correct.
the TERS and take care of the logistics of doing that part of it. Aside from that, I'd say there's likely not much within that part of it. Again, the only value here is as we start to make improvements to that area, things like incentives and public infrastructure, is it another dedicated funding source? Remember, it's not a new funding source because as you all know, it's either going in one bucket or the other one, right? But do you want a more dedicated one to be able to help out with those things for it? To the point of kind of looking at the boundaries on that part of it, I think it makes sense for us to consider expanding the boundaries when we have something specific going on within an area that we really want to expand it for. Otherwise, it's probably not worth keeping it in, expanding the boundaries only for the sake of capturing it early. On that part, I think you kind of leave it as it is. We know the two parcels that we're looking at right now for redevelopment, those are the easiest ones. For it, if we have any opportunities on other properties, it's going to be because someone is looking to redevelop that property and they'll be approaching us about what they want to do, and we can decide what level of improvements we want to make to that.
Yes, Dennis.
You mentioned a TERS administrator.
Correct.
Who's that and who gets paid?
Do we have a TERS administrator? Okay, hold on. Maybe I misspoke.
Okay,
There-
if there's none, that's fine. That's the first time I'd heard it. And
Okay.
therefore, is there a budget that's being spent out there on, okay.
I think when you set
Sorry, I
your
was thinking
TERS
of
up,
bids.
you
I was
have an
thinking of bids.
administrator
Okay,
help you
yeah.
set it up, and then they go away.
Mayor,
So, yes, it did.
I'm-
Oh.
I'm of the opinion with the instability that I've seen from Austin of late and what they are going after, I think we should maintain this just to maintain the potential for the option in the future, in the event they elect to make some type of changes against it. It may be grandfathered in. Then again, it may not. I don't know, but if we kill it,
Good point.
we may not be able to get it back.
No, I agree. If we can, those are good points, Jeff. If, they probably will grandfather it in. So it's nice to have that card there just in case we need it.
Okay.
But we're not really
We're-
killing it in terms of killing it. To me, killing it means losing it, right? What we're talking about is moving it, right? We're not going to lose the 78,000. It
No.
goes somewhere else, potentially.
Correct, yeah.
To a general fund.
It just-
So once that happens or doesn't, then
It's not the loss of the money, it's the opportunity in the future. If for some reason, again, our legislatures decide that they want to change it and are not going to allow new versions or options similar to that in the future, it's just one tool in our arsenal that we may be able to utilize.
Yeah, if you were to close this one up and start another one, what you really lose at the end of the day is you lose the base year. Okay, so the establishment of when this thing starts, if you go back to the real quick
Yeah,
to the
the-
slide,
the
with-
graph
look at the
or-
graph, right?
That's
You-
right.
You
You lose
lose
the-
all the increment that's been generated in there already, right? And that goes back, and that's now part of the new base, and you're growing from there. So you kind of learn, you lose the expediency of trying to get some funding quickly.
They're more valuable the longer they
Correct.
persist,
Exactly.
they're
Yes.
more
Okay.
valuable. Yeah, I'm hearing all good things. I think it's,
I have a question regarding developers. When a developer begins to look at opportunities, do they look at a town's investment in their development, i.e. TERS or other investments that the town has made as a advantage? So it's an advantage, even if our TERS only has $70,000 in it, it's a indication to the developer that we're serious, and this is important to us, and we're ready.
well, and also we've got 7-ish acres of land that it hasn't been built on, and what it does is that 7-ish acres of increment via developed improvements that become a negotiation lever in an incentive package, which is how it was done with HG and Hutchins. Now, I will say, I didn't negotiate those agreements, but I inherited them, and it was very easy to explain the EDC incentive, and it was very complicated to explain the TERS incentive, because you're talking about a percentage of an increase after a base and da-da-da-da. But it's a lever. It is a little bit of a, hey, we're open for business, waving your flag a little bit too, potentially, which I think is maybe another good reason to maintain it as is.
Okay, we're not taking action tonight, we're discussing. So, just to help you, Gary, this is a discussion, no action taken, and we will recommend to the staff to move forward or whatever we want to do, but no action, okay? Any other comments on the TERS? And do we want to speak to the issue of if the TERS remains, do we want that board to be incorporated into the council? Do we want to talk about that now?
Sure. Yeah, previously, we've talked about that either being as members of the council or also members of the EDC.
Right, either one. So any comments on that?
I would support either one. They were co-seated with the EDC for a few years, for a while. Either way would be good with me. I think it doesn't need its own separate board. We had that for a while, and it was one of those.
They never meet.
Meet twice a year. What are we doing again? So it's
Yeah.
better to bring in the people that already have the context.
Okay, so again, to your comment, Dennis, is that you would like to see it on the, if we have it in TERS.
If the council was just going to leave it as is, I would recommend that we put it on the agenda for discussion I prefer the council, but EDC, okay, you could word the agenda item for us to make a decision.
Okay,
Leave it wide enough to be able to talk, like Ryland said, EDC or council.
okay, all right. Okay. All right, any other comments regarding our workshop? Y'all, now, see, we have 30 minutes, and I know that Brandon wants to get out very quickly tonight.
That is true.
He designed the agenda, so, but we can't start until 7.
I know,
We cannot start until 7 o'clock, but we will start on time,
Can
7
we go
o'clock.
into executive session first now?
Oh,
Or do we have to wait?
Part of your regular agenda.
Yeah, still have to wait till it's
I'm
posted.
trying to help you, Brandon.
Yeah.
I wish the answer were yes.
Okay, can we just stay here for another half
Lear
hour
gets
and
fired up.
chat? and
can we talk? Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
Only about TERS. Yeah, I don't think I
Yeah,
got 30
yeah.
minutes of TERS in me.
I'm done. Okay, so it's 6:31. We will adjourn our workshop. Good job. Thank you for coming prepared to talk about this.
Good, good.
And It is 7 o'clock, and we are here for our Trophy Club council meeting. The day is May the 27th, 2025. We do have a council quorum. And again, I would always like to welcome those who may be watching on YouTube, Facebook tonight or tomorrow or the next day, or when you don't have anything better to do. Turn on YouTube and watch your council meetings, because you get to know who your council people are, as well as what is going on in the town and where our issues are and what decisions we're making to make this a great place to call home. So if you would please stand, we have our Reverend Bill Eason, Fellowship United Methodist Church, to lead us in invocation, and Rylan will lead us in the pledges.
Let us join together in prayer. Gracious and eternal God, we gather this evening in gratitude for the opportunity to serve this community and to seek a common good through our work. As we begin this meeting, we pause to center our hearts in your presence, asking for wisdom, humility, and grace. In this day following Memorial Day, we remember with reverence those who have given their lives in service to our country. We honor their sacrifice, and we hold in prayer the families who still feel the weight of their absence. Lord, help us to be worthy of their legacy by striving always for peace, justice, freedom, and the protection of all people. Guide this town council with clarity of purpose. Let our deliberations be thoughtful, our speech be respectful, and our actions reflect your call to love our neighbor as ourselves. May the decisions made here tonight uplift the lives of our residents, especially those who are vulnerable or in need. Remind us, O God, that true leadership is rooted in service. Empower us to lead with compassion and to seek unity even amidst our differences. May our work reflect the values of community, equity, and dignity for all. Remind us this evening of your love and your grace, reflected in each of us as we strive to do no harm, to do good, and to stay in love with you. Let those principles guide us as we labor together for the well-being of this wonderful town. This we pray in your holy and precious name. Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. We have a fun community spotlight. We have 3 people we're going to spotlight tonight. And the first one is Sally Aldridge, who is the president and CEO of the Metroport Chamber. And she's a frequent visitor to this podium, and welcome again. And also your your chairman.
Yes, I
You're
was
gonna
just going
introduce
to introduce my chairman of the board, Sam Leopard, is with me this evening as well.
Stand up, Sam. Hello, Sam. He's a fast science guy. There's an advertisement.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. It's always good to come back and visit with you on our, I think I'm hitting some keys accidentally. Hold on, let me move this. Let me go back. Hold on, let's go back a bit. Hold on, close your eyes. Let's start again.
Dennis,
Oh, wow, we really did. Okay, oh, we're going the wrong way. Are we going the wrong way?
Go up.
Up?
Boy, that
Oh,
was a
up.
quick presentation.
Yes,
You're-
I told you, I'd be really quick.
your minute is now.
Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, start again. Hi. All right, you all have a packet in front of you. It covers our annual report, the investment level that you all provide, as well as what all the criteria is for the level of investment, as well as this year's copy of the community guide that we put out. It's our relocation guide that is for businesses as well as those relocating the area, and all the communities are provided with those. Okay, here we go. So we continue to be your business community, connecting the Alliance region since 1988. We are a nonprofit organization, and we're a 501c6. And our mission, vision, and value statement, I always like to bring to your attention, we haven't changed them. We review them every year, but we have not changed them. And of course, we serve 6 communities in this very fast-growing region. And of course, Trophy Club is a member. And then we service businesses that are from the Fortune 500, Global 500, all the way down to the nonprofits. So there's a lot of programs that we make sure we are targeting for all businesses. This is a snapshot of how we ended 2024. And the interesting part about this is that we have businesses that are coming from 49 different communities that want to be part of what's happening in this area and do business with the businesses here. And that number keeps growing. And these are the 4 areas that we focus on: networking, education, promotion, and advocacy. And for networking, these are all the things that we provide for our members, either monthly or annually through large events that we host, and quarterly with our membership luncheons. And then on a digital network platform, we have a members-only Facebook group, which is 583, and then our Facebook followers for Metroport Chamber continues to grow at over 3,000. And in education, we do our Regional Advantage Leadership Program, which we just finished our Class 8, and we're about to launch Class 9 this fall. And then we do a Women in Business quarterly luncheon, which we actually host here at the Trophy Club Country Club. And then in-house, we offer our BET program, which is Business Education Training, which is bringing mostly programs for small businesses, bringing them aware of all the services and support that comes from this region. And then on a promotion, these are all the different things that we provide our members. A lot of this is included in their benefits, depending on the level that members are at. And on advocacy, we do the State of the Communities Address, which, Mayor, thank you for speaking at our February luncheon. And that's where all of our mayors give an update to the membership. Our Lone Star Legislative Report, which we'll do this fall in September, where we will do a recap of the legislative session this year. Of course, our Advantage Leadership Program, we took the class down there during Denton County Days, so that's why that picture is so nice and big, because our entire class was part of it. And then Denton and Tarrant County Days. And then on our ED initiatives, where we work with the communities directly, is the strategic planning. We meet once a month with our communities. Also our relocation guide, the promotion that we do for our communities on our website, a regional video, and then this past year we did an overlay with help with Hillwood to overlay everybody's strategic plan so you can kind of see how the whole region is growing. And then, of course, we have our own building. It's located in Roanoke. It is a building for the use of members only. We have the Commons, which is open as part of their benefits from 9 to 5 from Monday to Thursday. And then, of course, we have offices at nominal rates where they can use them for conferences. And then we also have leasable offices on the upper level. We have 12 leasable offices. Our goal is to help people come in, hang a shingle, start with an incubator space, but stay in the region and hopefully end up with a bricks and mortar. And then we couldn't do what we do with the lowest rates for a lot of our small businesses without the tremendous partnership of our members. And so these are all of our member partners in the high levels, including, of course, the Town of Trophy Club and our chairmans and our presidents level. And then all of our events, in order for us to host the level that we do and the quality, we could not do it without all of this tremendous partnership from our event partners. And of course, Fast Signs, our chairman of the board, is a platinum member. Better say that.
There he is.
And then these are all the ways on a digital basis that we can be found on the World Wide Web. And then also in your packet is our business cards that have, I love QR codes. They're the best way to keep things current. So that's the front of the cards, and that's the back of the card. And we encourage our members to hand them out as well to businesses. And then just a few snapshots of some pictures that were from this past year of ribbon cuttings that we did in the town.
That was Trophy Club, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Oh,
We've
it is.
had a lot of ribbon cutting.
Yes, I have to do a quick presentation,
I know
remember?
you do. I want to get our businesses out there. That's good.
Okay. And then here's just a snapshot of some of the events that the community has participated in or we've been bringing to the town. And that's my presentation.
Good.
Any questions? Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
I just can't let Sally leave because she's a dear resident of Trophy Club. She's made a big difference in this town for 25, 30, not 30 years.
25, yeah.
25 years.
Yeah. Well, with the chamber, yes.
With
I've
the
moved
chamber.
here in 96,
So
so I've been
she's
here a
a
long time.
longtime resident. It's made a big difference, and we appreciate you every day.
Thank you.
And you're so always receiving and welcoming when we need help.
Try to
And,
anyway.
you do that in a great way. We
Great.
appreciate you. So
Thank you.
We're
Thank
glad
you all.
you live in Trophy Club.
Okay. Thank you so much.
We're the best place to come. We're the most fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sally. Thank you, Sam, for being here. Okay, thank you. Next, we will have Pam Gutierrez. I knew it was Gutierrez.
You did great.
Thank
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm
Thank
so
you so
excited to
much.
be here tonight. I am Pam Gutierrez. I'm the Executive Director of Denton County MHMR Center. And I want to start out, did you know that 1 in 5 individuals have a mental health condition? So one of you possibly could have a mental health condition. And mental health affects everyone. It's very, very important to all of us. And it can touch any of you at any point in time, or anyone in our audience. And I appreciate very much the opportunity to talk to you about mental health. The common disorders that people suffer from are anxiety, major depression. We treat individuals at our center with schizophrenia, which is a very debilitating disorder. But, you know, there is hope because it's a brain disorder. And it's very similar to heart disease or diabetes. Again, it affects your brain. Just like if you would go to the cardiologist or you would go to treat diabetes, you come to see a psychiatrist or you go to see a counselor and you get help for that. What do you think is the greatest issue that people face that have mental health disorders? What would you say? Talk to me for a minute.
Not reaching out or keeping it to themselves?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Stigma. Stigma is so great because there's so much shame. And that people don't have to have shame. And, you know, since COVID, the isolation has been tremendous. And I attended the mayor's meeting and we talked about the isolation and people not reaching out, checking on each other. And it is so, so vitally important that we reach out to our friends and our neighbors and say, how are you doing? And you are not putting a thought in anyone's head. If they already are thinking of suicide, you are not putting those thoughts in their head. They're already there. And it's so important that you know that and that you reach out to them and you get them help. And Denton County MHMR has help for them. We're available. So over the past year, we have provided 236 services to individuals of Trophy Club. 25 individuals have reached out for services. And I bet you didn't know that you have residents that have needed help and have sought help with us. And I bet that's kind of a little eye-opening for you all. And you need to know that anybody else that needs services, we're there for them. And we want to help them. Some of the services that we have, so we have an ACT team, that's assertive community treatment. That's our highest level of care. So we wrap around them, and it's a treatment team. So we have a psychiatrist for that team, a nurse, and they'll go out and meet them in the community. We have a case manager that works with them, a vocational specialist, and these people have been in the hospital for years. They need skills, and they need people that care about them. So that's just one small group. We have a first episode psychosis program. These are people that have possibly gone to North Texas or any of the universities here and all of a sudden had a psychotic break. And so this team, it's a team approach again, and it's age 15 to 35. We get them on the right medicine at the right time, and possibly their lives turn around, and we've seen it happen, and it's unbelievable. We have children that come in at the age of 3. Can you imagine a 3-year-old that has bipolar disorder or schizophrenia? But if we can catch it young, then you don't have adults that have mental health issues. And we have, it's called a multi-systemic therapy program that wraps around them. And they go into the home and they make sure that these children don't become adults that are suffering later. And it's a tremendous program. But the word needs to get out that we have these services that can help these individuals. So we have psychiatrists that will see them. We have advanced nurse practitioners that will see them, and then case managers that will see them. The nurses will see them in between their psychiatric appointments, which is extremely helpful for them. Because sometimes they need people that they can touch base with, because a lot of times people don't have anyone in their lives and they're extremely lonely. Again, the suicide rate is at an all-time high right now, especially at the age 20 to 45, and we've seen the elderly rate go up as well. So you need to keep that in mind, check on your parents, grandparents, and see how they're doing, and make sure that they're not alone. And, you know, it's also, guns are extremely prevalent in our community. It's an easy access, easy means, especially for the elderly, and pills are easy access too. And a lot of times they'll store pills because, again, they can get a hold of the pills. So that's something else you need to be cognizant of and think about with your own parents and grandparents. The 5 C's of mental health framework for well-being are connections, compassion, coping, community, and care. So kind of keep that in mind and think about others in your community. These elements work together to build resilience, reduce stress, and improve overall quality of life. Suicide, again, it's just rampant in our community. And we have programs that are free. We have free trainings that we would be happy to come in and provide for your community and for you all as well. All you have to do is ask, and again, free, no charge. We'll come in and provide these trainings. I've given each of you my card, and all you have to do is connect with me, and I will make sure that we get the trainings to you. One of the trainings is called Ask, and it provides information about suicide. We'll come into your schools, we'll provide it to your teachers, we'll provide it to your counselors, we'll provide it to your janitors. Again, the training is free. We'll provide it to your kiddos. And we want to come in and we want to provide the training. So just all you have to do is ask us about it. And they provide the training, what to look for in a child that's experiencing suicidal ideation. And we have other trainings that we can provide. Just reach out to me. We want to provide it. A few more services I want to talk about. So child and adolescent we talked about. There's a Yes Waiver program. So you have children in your community that are at risk of being removed from the home for a variety of reasons. Possibly just the parents can't take it anymore. They've had it up to their eyeballs and they're at risk of this child being removed from the home. So we partner with the parents and we come in and we provide a team approach, and then that child can remain in the home instead of being removed. And it's a beautiful thing to see, a child that is so out of control, the teachers can't control them. And again, they're at risk of being removed. And yet we instill hope, and then they remain in that home. Skills training, CBT, it's a form of counseling, and we'll provide that to the individuals and their families. I talked about multi-systemic therapy. We have a crisis hotline that's answered 24 hours a day, and I'm going to give you that number. It's also on your sheet, but it's 1-800-762-0157. Or you can call 988, which is a very short number to remember. Yeah. But those are answered 24 hours a day for anyone that's in a psychiatric or mental health crisis. And that's a very valuable tool. So we also have a psychiatric crisis center, and people can just walk in and get help. Or we'll come to you anywhere in your community. So at your schools, if they want us to come to the school, we'll come there. If you have somebody that's in your home, in their own home, and they need us to assess the individual, we'll come to their home. A lot of times law enforcement has to be there because it can be a dangerous situation. But once the site is secured, we'll come in and assess the individual. And that's a mobile crisis team that comes with a licensed counselor and then a qualified mental health professional. And then possibly, maybe they need to go inpatient because their symptoms are so severe, or we have a crisis residential program. So it's actually 5 male beds and then 5 female beds. And we could refer them to that because their symptoms, they're not bad enough to go into a psychiatric hospital, but they need help. They need somebody to monitor them, monitor their meds, and give them the coping skills that they're missing. So that's something else that maybe they need, and we can get them placed in that crisis residential unit. And I don't know if any of you all have heard of that, but it's in Crum. It's a beautiful home on 10 acres. And we actually currently are looking for funding because we're at risk of losing that home because of the funding that we are currently at risk of losing. First episode, psychosis, I talked about. We also have a program for offenders that are coming out of the prisons. You can imagine if you've been in jail for years and years, and you also have psychiatric issues. So we come in and we try to rehabilitate them into society because it's really tough. You're homeless, you've been an offender, so we have a program for offenders. Then we also have, it's local outreach to suicide survivors. This is very near and dear to my heart. We get no funding at all for this program, so it's a program that helps people that have lost someone to suicide. And we have survivors that go out with a clinician, and when there's been a suicide, the medical examiner and the police take care of everything they need to take care of. We take care of the family and the individuals. And that might mean cleaning up the scene, literally linking them with a company to help them. I've served on this team for many years. I've been with the center for 38 years. And it's remarkable how, remarkable is the only word I can think of, how you see someone that has survived a suicide. One in particular I can think of, he had lost his son, 16-year-old son, to suicide. And the scene we went on together, the man had lost his 16-year-old son to suicide as well. And they were hopeless, and there were 20 people there. And he said, I never thought, I don't know what I can do. And the man that had lost his son to suicide, he said, I felt the same way. I wanted to kill myself. But because I knew my family needed me, and I started volunteering on the loss team, it gave me hope back. And the family said, seeing you walk in here, just your ability to walk in and give us hope has been such an installation of hope that I think we will be able to make it. And when you leave that kind of scene, you break down, and it's unbelievable feelings, but you know you've helped someone in their darkest hour. And so although the center gets no funding, we do fundraisers and donations. We have one coming up, and it's in your packets. Just a little burst there if anybody would like to give us a donation or come out. It's a lovely day. It's a lot of fun, and it's a beautiful team. But it's very hard to go on scene for these people. And but it's needed in our community. You all had 3 suicides in 2023. And Mayor, you are correct, you had 1 in 2024. So it does affect your community, and we want to partner with you and help you because we don't want any suicides. We don't want to have this team, but sadly we do. We have multiple locations. We've separated our child and adolescent team from our adults, and so we have a separate location for our children, and then we have our adults that come to a location on Scripture. Our children are on Morris. And then we serve also individuals with developmental disabilities. And some of your folks use those services. So that's a good thing as well. And then we have a Flower Mound location also that we serve individuals. And I think I've touched on everything. We also have a guardianship program. So individuals that need guardianship, the court refers those individuals to us. I think that's the only thing that I left out. Any questions anyone would like to ask?
Well, I would like to say thank you, Pam, and Pam is here because I invited her to attend. After myself and Steve, we attended the Denton County Mayor's meeting last month, and she spoke. And I was listening to her, and I'm saying to myself, you know what? Sometimes we think we're isolated, that stuff doesn't happen. But I'm telling you, it's happening in Trophy Club. Mental health, and it, just like you said, from A to Z. So it's in my heart to bring mental health awareness to Trophy Club. I don't know exactly how that's going to look, but I began praying about it, thinking about it, talking to people about it, and someday we're going to have something here in Trophy Club that recognizes mental health.
Thank you.
Don't know what that looks like, but maybe you can be a resource to
I
help
would
us
love
do
to be
that.
a resource.
Okay, thank you. Anybody comments? Anybody? Okay, thank you so much,
Thank
Pam.
you.
And thank you for driving down.
Thank
Where do you
you.
live, in Denton?
I live in Sanger.
Oh, you really came. Thank
No,
you for coming.
it's my honor. And
Thank
if
you.
you think of other questions later, you have my card.
Thank
That's my cell number, and I absolutely mean it. You can call me. If you have someone and you don't know what to do with them, people call me all the time, and we really do help people. So please don't hesitate.
We thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good evening.
Okay, trash lady, come on up. This is Wanda.
Thank you.
We know Wanda.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. And hot off the press for Councilmember Flynn, we were just speaking about when these carts and bins will be delivered. JB has been out there working with his team, and we've got the fresh new update. And before I get started on my program, I'll let you know. All the Tuesday, Friday, all the 95-gallon cart upgrades are done. Yay!
To go home to a
So,
cart.
yeah, I know. This is like
So
Christmas,
excited.
right? I'm excited. And we'll deliver the Tuesday, Friday, the bins and lids. Tomorrow. Okay,
Thursday, we'll deliver the.
Monday, Thursday.
Recycled bins, lids, and 95-gallon carts for those 2 days.
Awesome.
Oh, so my card's not there.
So we're good. We're good.
Is my card-
Okay, is
So,
this
Miss
me?
Jill, make sure we can get that on the update website if we can blast out.
We will. Now, I mean, it's fresh. It's brand new, just announced. So it's good to catch up, and I'm glad JB's been out there working with that team. It's been an arduous process. The team of one, JB. Well, that's okay, JB. One of you is enough for a team. So, but I just wanted to give you that brief update before we started on the presentation. But I did pull some information together because, as we all know, change is not easy. It's not easy for anybody. So I want to make sure we do this process correctly. And I've already introduced JB, so my first slide's done. I'm sorry. Am I done? Is this me?
You can use the stick there to your right.
Stick?
Down is the weight.
Nice. Okay. There we go. Sorry. The gift of gab, but not of slide presentation. So of course, JB, this is our, he's our assistant general manager, but much, much more to this team. He does a lot and has already done a lot for Trophy Club. So I really appreciate all of the efforts. And I'm municipal coordinator. I attend most of the events, quite a lot of the events. I love them. That's what I do. But that's enough about us, about the trash situation now. The trash part of it really kind of stays the same. You won't notice a huge difference in the trash service. The resident-owned containers that they've had, up to 10 containers, are fine. The bags, if they do put out the bags, obviously no rips, tears, no holes in the bags that'll allow trash to fall out. But no more than 50 pounds, twice a week for the manual collection. A new pickup schedule, which we'll show you the new schedule on a different slide here subsequently. And 4 cubic yards of bulk and unlimited tied and bundled on the second pickup day. Okay, so that's pretty much the same. Not a lot has changed there. More has really changed with the recycling. And this is where I think we're going to get some of the questions. We're not, That's the slide that shows the different, the zones and the trash tape pickups. But I think we're going to get a lot of questions on this. We're going to have a lot of residents call. We're quite staffed and up to speed to be able to handle that. But please, don't hesitate, if you get a call, field them to us. This is a little bit of a difference in what they're doing now, but we hope it's going to simplify things in the long run. If they like their bins, they like their 18-gallon bins, that's great. And this is all for recycling now. Trash is, okay. For recycling, they really must be CWD bins and carts. They have to be carts and bins with our logo on them, because once this all starts, we don't want confusion of picking up something that is not intended to go into the recycling. So we want to make sure that these are the bins or carts that are being used. And up to 3, we've said that at no additional cost, up to 3. If someone goes up to 4, you really do need that 95-gallon cart. So why not wheel in the cart instead of the bins? But if you can upgrade to the cart, it's only $3.41 a month. So it's not that big of a jump to have the cart instead of the bins. Okay? And questions as you go, please, or as I go.
No, my only question is, why didn't you make the big bin green as well?
The cart?
Yeah, the blue one. Why didn't you make that green?
That's a great question.
We've always used blue. I think because a lot of companies have green trash cans. Our competitors, I think we've always used
that's
gray
true.
for trash.
It's not
Waste.
important, but it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great, I've never been asked that. That's a great question.
No, you don't have to stay there. I'm just curious.
Okay. That is a good question, though. But,
I mean, it's because we have blue bins.
yeah, oh, the residents have blue bins, okay. Now, in getting to that too, any of the bins, put them out. We were thinking we would have an open top, but that did not come to fruition. So we will be picking up, go ahead and have the non-branded bins out. We will pick them up with the trash as we start going through.
Oh, good,
So
thank you.
go ahead
That's
and
been
pick
a
those
real
out.
question as to what can they do with these current blue
Right.
bins? So you will pick them up
Our drivers will pick them up.
on bulk day or just any day, I guess?
Well,
You know,
while we're out.
Recycle day, I mean,
Bulk
recycle.
trash. Now,
Okay.
also, up to the 16th.
Yeah.
They want to use them
Oh, okay.
for recycling. We will service those bins.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, come on up to the microphone so everybody can hear on the broadcast.
Yes,
Come on up.
please, come on, JB,
Yeah.
thank you.
I didn't want to steal her thunder, but.
I was going to, go right ahead, steal.
Okay, up to June 16th, anybody that places out a Republic recycle bin or their own personal little blue Tupperware Rubbermaid bin that you can buy at Costco, Lowe's, Home Depot, we will service it with the recycle. After that day, next service cycle, we will be picking them up, the bins in the trash
Good,
and getting rid of them, getting them off the street for you. Yes.
excellent.
So-
excellent.
We've had some changes here in the last couple of days, so let me walk through so I can 100% understand.
All right.
I got a blue bin today, recycle,
Yep.
right? On Friday, I'm going to put out 2 blue bins because it's Friday and it's recycle day.
Yep.
The recycling will be picked up. Will you know, how will you know that I don't want those bins anymore? Or are you automatically going to pick them up and take them?
No, we will leave them. If you don't want them thrown away, if you don't want to recycle them, put them out on the curb empty. We will chunk them. But if you put recycle in them, we're going to assume you want to recycle and keep that bin.
But it's all, what I'm getting at is the transition, right?
Right,
So
yes.
it's Friday, it's the
Yep.
last day we all can use blue bins.
Yes, you
Right?
can, yes,
So we put them out.
yep,
They come and they pick up the recycle.
Yes.
They empty it.
yes.
They put the blue bins back down. What
Okay.
then-
Here's what I suggest you do. You already have our CWD green bins or polycart before your first service day. Pour your recycle in our bin, if you're trying to dispose of it, and throw the empty bin out with the trash, not with the recycle.
Next week.
Correct,
not-
yes,
not-
yeah, if you're
not
thinking
Friday.
this Friday is still being collected by Republic,
That's
right?
correct.
So
Correct.
if you
Right.
put it out this Friday, it will be service as normal.
As usual.
Right.
And then
Yes.
it will be yours to take back inside until the next week.
So basically, an empty bin will be treated like trash.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
That's very good. Rylan said it.
There you go. Simplified.
Tried to boil it down to as few
There you
words.
go.
There you
I
go.
like that.
Yes, I like it.
1-800-RYLAN.
And these are what you will have as of June 16th. So at that point, that's when we're going to start tagging and saying,
Oh,
okay, you now need to relinquish, use the bins as storage or something, but we will only pick up our branded CWD bins with this, okay? Thank you, JB. Okay, anything else?
Well, I will say that we're looking at our interim town manager named Chase Ellis. He will be receiving the calls as well as Tamara Smith, correct? Stand up, Chase, so we all know who you are. And you can say thank you to your boss up here for going on vacation.
Yeah. A quick.
It's going to be a great transition. Our community's ready. You've done a really good job. Yeah, and they've asked a lot of questions.
Oh, the questions have been very helpful to us as well. So we appreciate the questions. We really want the feedback.
All the questions just keep coming.
Yeah, keep coming. Anything you need. Thank you.
I do like there has been a number of questions regarding what can we do with our blue bins, our blue 18-gallon bins. Right. And now you're going to pick them up. Originally, you were not going to pick them up, I think.
We will now.
And
yes.
you will now. And that's a big, big change, everybody. Listen up. Put your bins out there next Friday. Not this Friday, the next Friday, and they will pick them up.
Absolutely.
Steve. I'm not going to clean mine.
We accept all dirty.
Well, you want mine? I have 3.
I was gonna say grow potatoes.
If you want to clean them out, you can. You can have them. Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you, Wanda, JB. Thank you for your help. You've become family very quickly.
We
Thank you.
fight like brothers and sisters, right?
Thanks very much.
Excuse
Okay.
me, Mayor.
Yes.
We bypassed public participation, and I'd just like to let you know that we did not have anybody sign
I'm
up, but I
sorry.
don't know if anybody wants to speak.
Okay, good, we're good. Okay, so let's see, we do have quickly an update from town manager. You want to say anything?
Part-time.
What?
He's on his way out.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can just,
We're into the final hours here. So the first one is that we do have movie in the park coming up. We'll be doing a free showing of Mufasa, The Lion King, starting at 8:45 p.m. on June 13th at Harmony Park. So we'll have a food truck there. We'll have, obviously, the movie, lots of opportunities. There will be, the Boy Scout troop will be operating the concession stand. So bring a long chair, come to have fun that evening, a warm blanket, and we will be having, again, Mufasa, The Lion King at 8:45 p.m. on June 13th at Harmony Park. Boards and commission meetings that are coming up, we have on June 4th, our Crime Control and Prevention District will be meeting at 6 p.m. On June 12th, we have the Joint Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustments meeting. That'll be at 6 o'clock p.m. And then on June 16th, we have the Parks Board meeting at 6 p.m. as well. As a reminder, we do not have a town council meeting on June 9th. We'll skip that one, and our next town council meeting will be on June 23rd. However, in between there, we do have on Wednesday, June 18th, our joint the Trophy Club Municipal Utility District number 1 and town council meeting. That will be at 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and that will be here at Town Hall. And last but not least, we do have Breakfast with Tiffany coming up on June 16th at the Tom Thumb Starbucks at 9 a.m.
okay, thank you.
That's all. Thank you, Mayor.
I will give you an update. We will be having the mayor of the year on the 23rd of June. Our little mayor from Beck.
Oh,
Mayor for the day.
Mayor for the day.
Not the year, mayor for the day.
Mayor of the year. You don't have to run yet, Jeanette. We still got another year to go.
Give it away.
Right on out.
She does. Hey, listen, she's at Beck. She's fifth grade.
That's right. She might be ready to roll.
She's ready.
Yeah.
Okay, mayor of the day will be on the 23rd. I just want to let you know. We've just confirmed that today. Thank you very much. Consent agenda.
Consent agenda. This part of the agenda consists of non-controversial or housekeeping items required by law. Items may be removed from consent by any council member by making such request prior to motion and vote.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's Steve seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed? Motion passes. So now we're going to go, oh, you want to read the executive session? please?
Executive session pursuant to Section 551071 of the Texas Government Code. The town council will recess into executive session to discuss the following: consultation with the town attorney to seek legal advice regarding pending litigation or settlement offer for case number 25-1622-442, the Town of Trophy Club, Texas versus Bentish LLC, DBA Chi-Kun Foot Spa, ETL, and any all legal matters related thereto.
Okay, at 7:40, we will adjourn into executive session. It's 7:53. We are reconvening to a regular session, and there was no action taken in executive session, and we're adjourned. 7:53, Mr.
I
Town
think-
Manager.
Run, Brandon, run.
Go.
That might be a record.
It's